To the show, everybody.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kristen Cho.
And I'm Cameron Word.
And today happens to be the last day of Power English.
Ever?
For this month.
For this month. Okay, my heart stopped for a second. Yes, it is the last show for this month.
Yes.
But next month, with our new book...
That's right.
We will continue the show.
Absolutely. I mean, we will continue on and on until they tell us to stop. Okay.
Until they lock the door and don't let us in.
That's right. So just as a quick recap.
Yes.
How would you rate this month? Past month. How was your month?
Strange. Well, just thinking about the weather, it was supposed to be getting cold. And it isn't getting cold fast enough.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
So weather-wise, it's been an adventure every day, going outside, knowing what to wear.
Oh, it's been very tricky.
Right?
Yeah.
And plus, I grow plants outside.
Right.
So...
You have to go in and out. What do you have to do with your plants that are outside?
I have to move them into the shade.
Oh.
I have like an umbrella I put over them.
Oh, my goodness.
Sometimes I walk. But then there was a lot of rain. So then I was like... They got too wet. Then they were too hot.
Oh, this is...
How was your month?
What? Well, compared to yours, it's been very quiet. It was pretty good. But I am glad that we are getting into colder temperatures. Yeah, it's really... I'm not a big fan of summer, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next month.
Yes.
Well, we've got one more dialogue for you today, and it happens to be a food dialogue. This whole month, we've been talking about cooking for dietary restrictions. There's a silver lining.
Yeah.
How would you say that in Korean?
There's a silver lining.
Yeah.
긍정적인 증명도 있다.
Okay.
So there is a positive part, even though the situation is negative.
Okay, so we'll give you more details in just a bit. Here are the other expressions that we're going to cover. Harm's way. So it's harm, H-A-R-M, and then apostrophe S, harm's way.
This means you're in a situation or a place that is dangerous, or you could get hurt.
Oh, okay. Take one's hat off to someone. Take one's hat off to someone.
This is saying, the someone did something good, so you might applause,
cheer.
Like give an applause or cheer. You know, that kind of old-fashioned way of going, I honor you, I respect you.
Right, you take off your hat.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and listen to today's dialogue.
You know, there's a silver lining to all of this. My family eats really healthy because I cook really good food for them.
And you keep them out of harm's way at the same time.
I never thought of it that way.
I take my hat off to you, Michelle. I hope your family knows how lucky they are to have you.
Thanks, Anton. It was great talking to you. I have a new perspective on my situation.
Say hi to your family for me.
Please join us on page 152. You can find the Power Dialogue. Cooking for dietary restrictions. There's a silver lining.
Yes.
So when you think of dietary restrictions, you think, that's kind of hard. It's restricting. You can't have this, you can't have that. But then there's a silver lining, so maybe there's a good thing.
Yes.
Let's see. Michelle says, there's a silver lining to all of this. My family eats really healthy because I cook really good food for them.
Yes.
Okay. So it's not easy cooking for her family because they all have different restrictions. But there's a silver lining.
Yes.
They eat healthy. Okay.
Right.
Silver lining.
So I think it is good to talk about the origin of this phrase.
Yeah.
Originally, the entire saying is, every cloud has a silver lining.
Every cloud has a silver lining.
So that's like an English proverb, which means every bad or negative situation has a little bit of something good.
Right. When we think of clouds, we think of gray, gloomy, dark. Right. So it is somewhat negative.
Yes.
However, in there there is something good.
Yeah. So this lining here is talking about the line that you use to draw the cloud is silver. And everyone loves silver.
Sure.
We don't like gray, but silver?
Silver.
Ooh, it's expensive,
fancy.
shiny.
Yeah.
So when you say there is a silver lining, you're saying, yeah, it can be hard, it can be difficult, it can be bad, but there's one good point about it.
Yeah. And I think that's important because you can be very negative and look at a situation that's very bad and think, oh my gosh, my life is over. But if you look carefully, there is always some silver lining if you look for it.
Yes.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. Okay. What does Anton say?
And you keep them out of harm's way at the same time.
Okay. So she says they eat really healthy. And you keep them out of harm's way. Keep them out of harm's way. Harm's way.
Harm's way means a dangerous situation or a situation, a place where you could get hurt. So I think it's important to memorize this phrase, a little bit of a longer version. Either keep out of harm's way.
Keep out of.
Or put in harm's way.
Okay, one is out of a dangerous situation.
Yes.
And then one is put in a dangerous situation.
Right. So keep out of harm's way is to keep someone safe.
Yes.
Put in harm's way means to put someone or something in a risky situation.
Ah, got it. That's good to know. So yes, harm's way is our expression, but you want to use those verbs, those words with it.
Yes, keep out or put in.
Okay, keep out, put in harm's way. Okay, so Anton is saying, we're keeping the children or the family out of harm's way. So keeping them safe in terms of like healthy diet.
Yes.
Michelle says, I never thought of it that way. This is our whole power pattern.
Yes.
I never thought of it that way. Do you hear my intonation?
I never thought of it that way.
Oh.
It's very high. You can't say it low.
I never thought of it that way.
It
doesn't work.
You have to say it at the higher end of your vocal range.
Why?
Because it's a response to hearing a different point of view. So it's not new information, but it's a different way of looking at it.
That's right.
It's a different angle that someone has said. So it's showing a little bit of surprise. Or like, hey, yeah, I think you might be right.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way.
Oh,
Da, 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 da,
그러네.
da, da, da.
Yeah, Korean people say, 그러네, 맞다. Like, it's not the exact word by word translation, but the feeling is like, 그렇구나.
맞네.
맞네.
I never thought of it that way.
Okay. Anton says, I take my hat off to you, Michelle. I hope your family knows how lucky they are to have you. So Anton is complimenting, saying something nice to Michelle. He's saying, I take my hat off to you. So what is he saying here?
So if this phrase literally means I honor you, I respect you.
I respect you.
Right?
Yeah.
Or even I applaud you.
박수.
Yeah,
Okay.
박수. So Anton is saying to Michelle, wow, you're amazing. You're doing a great job. You're working hard. This is not something that a normal person can do.
Okay.
Almost like you're superhuman.
So this expression to me seems a little old. I take my hat off. To you. Like, that's another generation, right?
Yeah, I might only say this in like a very formal speech.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or that you really do respect someone.
Yes.
So you could say, I really respect you. Oh, you're amazing, Michelle. You can say all of those things. But if you say, wow, I take my hat off to you, it is showing them a kind of, how shall I say, like reverence?
Yeah. Honor, respect,
all of those things.
Yeah, you're lifting that person up.
Yes.
Because it is a little bit of old language, it just shows how much you really do respect that person.
Very good. What does Michelle say?
Thanks, Anton. It was great talking to you. I have a new perspective on my situation.
Okay, our power vocabulary today is perspective.
관점. So this is the angle that you look at something. What angle, what 각도, literally, literally you are looking at a situation. Because everyone has a different perspective.
Sure.
Everyone has a different viewpoint.
That's right.
Right? So seeing the same thing, but in a different way.
Yeah. So you thought you were looking this way, but there's this angle and there's that angle.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go ahead and listen to that one more time.
You know, there's a silver lining to all of this. My family eats really healthy because I cook really good food for them.
And you keep them out of harm's way at the same time.
I never thought of it that way.
I take my hat off to you, Michelle. I hope your family knows how lucky they are to have you.
Thanks, Anton. It was great talking to you. I have a new perspective on my situation.
Say hi to your family for me.
It's time for Power Note. We're on pages 154 and 155. Now, if there's a silver lining, it means that it's a bad, negative situation, but there's something good in it.
Yes.
Okay. I can't believe I lost my job.
The silver lining is that you'll have more time with your kids.
True.
Yeah. So if you aren't going to work, hopefully, you have more time with your kids.
Well, that is true.
So overall, the situation isn't good. And probably in the long term, it's really not good to
But
not have a job. But for now, hey, look at the little bit of positive you can get from the situation.
Right. So sometimes in order to make someone feel good about a bad situation, this is how you would approach them.
Yes.
Like, the silver lining is blah, blah, blah. But of course, is it really depends on the other person.
Right.
If they want to take that perspective. There's always a silver lining to any negative event if you look hard enough.
Yeah. There usually is not any situation where it's 100% bad.
I agree.
Right? But this silver lining doesn't mean that if you look at it differently, it's actually a good thing.
Yeah.
That's not what it's saying.
That's right.
It's admitting, yes, the situation is bad, but there is a small bit that is good.
Yeah.
Right?
And personally, Cameron, do you feel that this is true?
I do. Hey, honestly, sometimes the silver lining is that later it will make a very funny story.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, in the moment, it's the worst situation ever.
Yeah.
But in 2 weeks, when it's over and you're talking to your friends, you can say, listen to this story.
Yeah.
This was the worst thing ever that could happen to me.
Right.
But now you can laugh about it.
That's right. And I feel like when you're traveling, this is so true. You've got to have situations where it's like, oh my gosh, we missed the plane, we missed the bus. Those sort of stories, because in the end, they're very memorable.
Yeah, that's true. So the silver lining could just be a funny story. Or it could be you learn something.
Right.
Like, for example, when people are investing in stocks, sometimes like your first year of investing, you lose a lot of money.
Sure.
But then I heard this professional investor say, well, that's a good thing.
Oh.
You lost a lot of money early.
Oh.
So you learned your lesson.
Oh.
You aren't going to have invested much more money and lost a ton more.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right, so losing money isn't good, but the silver lining is you made the mistake early instead of later.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Okay, harm's way is basically a dangerous situation.
Yes.
Okay. The volcano is erupting. What should we do?
If we follow the road to the south side, we'll be out of harm's way.
Okay. We'll be out of harm's way. Well, why would we say, we're no longer in danger? We could say that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be safe. Do you think there is maybe a reason why we would say out of harm's way as opposed to, we'll be safe?
Right. So I do think because of the word way, there is a direction. There's a feeling of direction. So if you think about a volcano, the lava or the smoke, it is going in one direction. It's going from the volcano away, right?
Right.
So the feeling is that is the path. That is the path of danger. And so you are moving out of the path of danger, right?
Yes.
So it's like you're changing direction.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
In the same way you would get out of the way of a car. Like you'd step to the side.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
That's different from being out of danger, which could mean not necessarily a change in direction.
Right.
But like maybe you have on body armor now, so you're out of danger.
Sure. It could be a number of things.
Right. So this way, it feels like there's a direction that the danger is going.
And you're changing direction to avoid the danger.
Yes.
Great point. The hikers didn't realize they were in harm's way until lightning struck all around them.
Yeah, so here again, the storm. Like clouds and a storm, they travel in a direction.
Sure.
There's a path of danger.
Yes.
So if they could either go 100 miles one direction, or maybe they just need to go like 50 feet in another direction. And they're out of the way.
Got it.
They're out of harm's way.
I feel like this is like very appropriate for a tornado.
Oh, yeah.
Being, out of, harm's way, meaning you're going into the shelter, going underground.
Right. You're going to a place where the danger will not go.
Okay. All right. Take one's hat off to someone means to honor or to really praise, respect someone. That relief organization was helping hurricane victims even before the government.
You have to take your hat off to them for being so committed to helping people.
Yeah. So it's a deep honor. It's a deep praise. I take my hat off to her for giving such a powerful speech.
Yeah. Again, this is not something you would just use in everyday language.
Right.
But when you're really thinking, man.
Deeply. Yeah. Respect. Deeply. Feel honor.
Right.
Yeah.
And it would have to be for something big.
Right.
I take my hat off to you for taking out the garbage. Like you wouldn't.
No.
It has to be something that is truly an honorable action that they've done.
Sure. Absolutely. Okay. Our power pattern today is, I never thought of it that way.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. I never thought of it that way. I always thought musicians wrote the lyrics before the melody.
Sometimes musicians, they have the song before they have the words.
True.
And then
they put the words in there.
I never thought of it that way. The moon is actually reflecting light, not emitting light.
Oh.
Yeah, we talk about moonlight, but that's not really a thing.
Yeah.
It's all sunlight.
It's all right.
Right?
It's true. Who would have known? I never thought of it that way.
I think some scientists know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Power vocabulary today is perspective, a very good word, 관점. Do check out the definition on page 156. And also stop by
Audio 어학당.
Pay a very small monthly fee.
Yes.
And you can listen to our show again and again. And again and again.
And again and again. And so many of our other shows as well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so join us tonight at 6 p.m. for our live show evening special. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye.